Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of MLROTWA, or actually this is the first episode for this season's Makina Lady Riders of the World. This is of course brought to us by Haveline Ride Strong. I always say that, hey, it's another special episode of MLROTWA. I just realized, every episode is special, it's unique. We're talking about distinct individuals. We are delving into their stories. We're finding out what's going on with their lives. And I always say this is the time wherein we are actually experiencing a huge influx of women riders. This is it. Eto na yon. So our next guest, she is a famous international master of ceremony. She's a great host. I caught wind of her in the hosting circuit. I also got to see her in action in the Makina Moto show in SMX last April, and she did a spectacular job there holding the fort for the Bristol booth and the QJ booth, and she was just there all day just yakking it up as hosts should. She ended up hosting in the Makina Moto show not because she can just host, it's because she rides. You know what, I'm gonna leave the story for her to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cay Kuijpers. Cay.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know you're a very busy gal.
No, thank you for choosing me.
Of course, MLROTWA is about women and motorcycles, but I just wanted to ask you more about how you got into the whole, entertainment thing. Was there a point in your life that you were a shy person?
Oh yes, I actually grew up being an introvert. I'm an only child, the only girl, so
Okay.
I didn't really have much interaction with other children. But when we moved to different countries, my parents and I was exposed to different cultures, and I got to socializing a bit more. During university, so you kind of have to do your presentation, thesis, and stuff like
So,
that.
would you say it's a mixture of moving around a lot?
Oh, absolutely. So I was in the Philippines till I was 16 years old, so I finished my high school here.
Okay.
Then we moved to Malaysia. I was away from the country for like 19 years, traveled to different countries. I lived in Australia as well for like 3 years, but most of the time in Malaysia. I think I adapted very quickly because I immersed myself into the culture itself. I wouldn't say I speak Bahasa Malay because when I was in university there, they didn't really require me to learn the language, which is embarrassing. All my friends spoke in English, so that's fine. I don't even realize that I have the accent. Some people can't really tell where it's from. It's peculiar. It's a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how I got that.
But your Aussie accent is quite prevalent, at least today. What an interesting life you have in the sense that we're traveling about. May I ask why you were traveling? Well, what was your father or mother doing?
Okay, so my dad works in pharmaceutical. At that time, when I finished high school, we had to move to Malaysia because of his work.
What made you decide to settle down? I assume you're here.
So I moved here in 2019 because of love.
Oh, okay.
But that love didn't work out. But I have already settled here, so I have a home here.
What got you into the entertainment business?
Okay, I was in Malaysia for some reason because I play golf, right? I've always been playing golf since I was 13 years old because my parents play as well.
Okay.
So I got invited to this event. I think it was Carlsberg golf event, a tournament. I got asked to host that. It's quite embarrassing because I was shaky. I had no idea how to host. So I did it anyways, and it turned out pretty bad. And then
Why was it bad?
I know, so I just had to stand behind the podium. And I just really had to read everything. But I couldn't look at the audience because I was so nervous. I was shaky, my voice was shaky to the point where if I looked up, I would miss everything and I would pause for a few seconds and not know what to say. It was really embarrassing. But luckily during golf tournaments, and it's Carlsberg event, everyone gets drunk.
Yeah.
So, you kind of loosen up as well behind, like on stage. So.
Okay.
And then after that event, I thought I'd never get a job again because of this.
How long ago was this?
It must have been like 15 years ago, 14 years ago.
No training, no media.
Nothing.
You just got invited to do it. And how did you move forward from that? I mean, what got you? Did you get challenged? Like, I sucked at that first gig and I gotta work on the next one.
A TV production team contacted me to do a Malaysia Truly Asian. It's a travel show in Malaysia. So it was all pre-recorded, so it was much easier for me. Didn't have a live audience and things. So if I was making a mistake, we would just record over it. Doing all that maybe for like 4 years in a row, that's improved my confidence and my quality of speaking, and that's how it started.
So, thank you, Carlsberg, because we have you now, and you're doing quite well. The break in the Philippines, how did you work yourself into the entertainment industry here?
Yeah, so when I got here in 2019, I was like sort of settling down, and then COVID happened. So I was stuck at home for like those 2 years, and so I didn't really get to explore anything. So basically I only started exploring 2021. The partner that I had, right, the one that didn't work out, he's an actor.
Oh, okay.
And so he introduced me to a few people that could, get me some sort of connection in this market, and I think that's how it started.
And during COVID, that's also in itself a tough call. Okay,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
what a situation.
Yeah.
Which now brings me to the next question, and that very beautiful bike behind you. Walking in here, my jaw dropped at what I saw.
Right.
3, 4, 5 bikes. Has your father been a rider ever since? Did you grow up seeing bikes? Or?
My father probably started riding when they were living in Vietnam, maybe 2012, 2013. I think he started with a Vespa.
Okay.
And then he just progressed. Now it's just all big bikes.
And how did you get into it? I mean, did you jump
Yeah.
from a small bike and did you just...
Yeah, so here's what happened. So I was really inspired by my dad because, I see my father as someone who's very cool. And so I wanted to learn how to ride as well. When I was in Malaysia in 2018, I decided to take my riding course. I did the full thing. That took me 2 months. Then I passed the exam. I learned off of a Kawasaki Ninja 650.
Okay, sport bike right away.
Right. And then I moved to the Philippines, and my father was just like, "Yep, this is the bike you're riding." From a 650
Okay.
to an 1800.
Oh wow. Okay.
So Dad, I just finished my riding school. I haven't gotten on the road yet, riding with anybody, and then here it is. The roads are pretty crazy. Riders are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So it was quite nerve-wracking.
How has it been so far? I mean, how's the journey?
It's good. So when I got to the Philippines, I actually took an 8-hour refresher course with Coach Meng Sevilla. And then after that, I was tired. And then my cousin, who's a rider, rode this bike to the location, and then Coach Meng said, "Okay, you're riding this now." And I said, "I don't think I can.
Okay.
It's so big, and I'm intimidated." But I managed that thing, and that's how it started.
Yeah, education and training is very, very important, especially with two wheels. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Motorcycle it's a motorcycle. It's not 4 wheels or exposed and all that.
Yeah.
And if you learn and you get your education, it's just very, very important.
Exactly. You just have to be comfortable around these beautiful machines and learn how they really work. I think that's the deal, right?
Any major spills so far? Any accidents?
Not really. Well, I haven't really gone far with riding. There were a few times when I dropped this, which is why you'll see there's a crash guard right there. My dad made sure.
Protect the investment.
Right.
I see your posts. You have a beautiful kid, and your father's supporting you.
Yeah.
I have my son as well. I don't mean to sound hypocritical, but at this point, I can't let him ride because I've fallen so many times. It hurts to maybe think that something might happen to my kid. Did that cross your mind as a mother?
Oh, absolutely. My father is the riding enthusiast, right? He's very close to my son. When we were doing the gender reveal, he was really hoping for a boy.
Okay.
Came up. My dad's the real winner, and so he is just spoiling my son. So my son's going to be a rider when he grows up, no matter what. But for me as a mother, that's also one of the reasons why I've been very careful, not yet going full on with the riding, because when you become a mother, all you can think about is staying alive, so that you can watch your child grow up.
Of course.
Right? Anything that happens to you, the child doesn't have a mother anymore.
Yeah.
So I've been very careful with that one now. But if it is what he wants to do when he grows up, I will support him.
There you go.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do if he wants to do that.
So it's great. You got your father who rides with you from time to time. Is there a dream destination that you're looking at?
For me, I wanted to do that rough terrain in the Himalaya. I was supposed to go with a group of friends, but it's circumstances, time
Yeah.
didn't happen.
The Himalayas is quite the challenge. That's for the books, definitely. Are you currently doing anything in the motorcycle industry? What are you busy with?
I'm still busy traveling in Southeast Asia during my hosting gigs. When it comes to motorcycling industry, I've partnered up with Bristol Motorcycles. So
Okay.
I'm always involved in their events, like hosting their events.
Okay.
They're also supporting me in terms of like retraining myself with riding.
Okay.
So for example, we did the motor camp riding school in Clark.
Okay.
So I did the track over there. So just small things like that. I think I'm also going to try to penetrate the riding community in the Philippines as well. I've actually started the Facebook page.
There you go.
It's just all about riding for now. I don't know yet where it's going to go, but I do want it to get somewhere. So yeah, all training.
Apart from hosting, is there anything else that you're into?
I'm hosting full time, but at the same time, like I said, I play golf as well.
Okay.
So I get invited to different countries to play golf. And then I also have plans of teaching people how to speak publicly.
Okay.
Because you know that like 80% of the population are afraid of talking on stage.
Mhm.
So my goal is really just to impart my knowledge and skills and how it's important. I
That's
see
great.
people talking on stage all the time, like big bosses, CEOs, and they can't. They're nervous, and I would like to share my skills and my knowledge about that to show them how to speak.
And you know, talking in public and being able to host kind of unlocks a lot of things.
It does.
Personally, I mean, you've experienced that, being a shy person,
Absolutely.
and all of a sudden, boom, you're confident. You know.
Right, you can achieve so much more.
Any advice for women riders out there?
It's very intimidating, I can understand that, but if you really put your heart into it and you've got a goal in mind, I think you need to focus on that one, because as you know, if you have a goal, it's much easier to do the whole process as well. So set a goal and start riding to that goal and achieve it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you more power. And I'll see you on the road on two wheels more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Zach.
much.
Thank you.